If you're fighting all the time, you're stuck in arguments that go nowhere, and you're emotionally exhausted, you feel like you just need some space or maybe an entire relationship reset. Well, this video is going to be for you. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to decide if taking a break in your relationship is really worth it, if it's the right move for you at this stage in your relationship, how to figure out if you're taking a break for the right reasons or if it's just avoidance, and how to actually use that break intentionally so that when you come back from the break, your relationship can actually get stronger, not just fizzle out. If you're new here, my name is Wes. I'm a licensed couples therapist, and this channel is devoted to helping you heal your relationships so that you can live a happier, more fulfilled life. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So how do we know if taking a break in a relationship is actually the right move for us? Well, the first question that I want you to ask yourself is, are you stuck in a cycle of conflict that you just cannot seem to escape? Ask yourself, do your fights with your partner end with clarity or do they end with resentment? Are you building up a wall of contempt between you and your partner because they are ending in resentment? The governments in their research have proven that contempt is the #1 killer of relationships. So decide if that is where you are ending up after your fights. Every conflict is repeating with the same type of pattern again and again, and it's not ending in any kind of new emotional insights for you and your partner. You don't feel like you're coming back from these fights stronger with more insight into each other's patterns and more empathy for each other, then a break might be the kind of emotional reset button that you need. The second question to ask yourself is, do I just need personal space or do I need a break? In today's world, people are spending more and more time with their partners. If you and your partner both work from home, especially, then you might be spending all of your waking moments with your partner. And honestly, this can really wear on a relationship. People were not designed to spend every single waking moment together. We are designed to have individual lives outside of our partners too. So some people may confuse just needing a weekend alone, or even an hour or a day alone, with needing a true relationship timeout. So part of this comes down to understanding yourself, and part of it comes down to communicating effectively with your partner. The first step is understanding for yourself. How much time have I taken apart from my partner? During that time, have I really separated from the relationship? Have I given myself time and space that I need as an individual to pursue my own hobbies, to enjoy alone time, to emotionally reset? Or am I spending every single waking minute with this person? The second step, if you've identified that you do need time and space to recharge, is to communicate this to your partner. Now, this takes some assertive communication skills, especially if you are a conflict avoidant person. I've made tons of videos on conflict avoidance because I work with this all the time in couples therapy. But the big thing here is to understand your feelings and communicate them using I feel statements to your partner. That could be like, hey, I'm noticing that I really feel tired and I need some time to recharge. And I think it would be really helpful for me to have some time alone this weekend. Are you okay with that? You can also include a specific action that you're going to take. Hey, I'm feeling really down and I think I just need some space alone. I am going to go on a long bike ride this weekend by myself to recharge. So I'll be gone for a few hours. Okay. A true break in the relationship is giving yourself emotional distance from the relationship to reconnect with your sense of self and evaluate truly if this relationship is right for you. So try to ascertain whether or not you just need some space, some personal space to recharge, or that kind of break with your partner. The third question here is, have you really put the work in? Before considering a break with your partner, honestly, have you actively been trying solutions? Have you gone to couples therapy, for example? Have you talked about it with your own individual therapist? Have you had deeper conversations with your partner where you both sit down and really actively talk about these issues? Not just one of you, but both of you. And have you spent time doing self-reflection? Do you understand what's coming up for you in the relationship, why you're feeling the way that you are? Doing that kind of personal work is really important before you decide to take a big break in your relationship. So have you done all of this work, or are you just waiting for something external to force you into either making a decision about the relationship or force you into doing some kind of work on yourself? Or are you just waiting for something external to change without actually putting in any genuine effort? If you've genuinely tried and nothing has changed yet, then a break might be beneficial. If not, then you might be avoiding the deeper work that you need to do. So when then is a break just emotional avoidance? A break is not always healthy. Often, it's a sneaky way of avoiding responsibility of showing up in the relationship as you should, or it's a way of avoiding conflict or avoiding self-reflection. So before considering a break, ask yourself honestly, a few questions. Am I choosing distance with my partner because it's easier than facing uncomfortable truths about how I'm feeling or about how the other person is acting? Am I running from conflict because I'm afraid of my own vulnerability or accountability? Or am I hoping that a break magically fixes something that I am afraid to face head on? That's a big one. A lot of people take breaks in their relationship because secretly, deep down, they are hoping that the relationship will just fizzle out. They will decide to end the relationship after the break occurs. If you recognize that that's a secret thought that you have, then you are probably avoiding a hard conversation with your partner or avoiding voicing your feelings to them. I know how hard that can be, believe me, and I have so much empathy for people who struggle in that area. I myself have struggled there before. But in order to really have strong relationships in your life and not just repeat the same patterns with the next person that you end up dating, you need to begin to face these conversations head on. It's important. Remember that avoidance disguised as a break doesn't really lead to growth. It just prolongs pain for both you and your partner. Real courage requires you to look at what you're actually avoiding and face it head on. So if you've gone through all of this and you decide that taking a break is right for you and your partner, then here's how to take a break consciously so you can come back together stronger afterwards. Step 1, set clear intentions for both of you. Define the why. Are you breaking up because you want to gain clarity, because you want to heal triggers that both of you have, or you want to reconnect with yourself? Really get clear on the intention behind what you're doing and make sure that both of you agree. Step 2, agree on clear boundaries. Some people try to take a break and don't establish whether or not they can see other people or what they're really trying to do. And so a break just becomes an excuse to start dating other people and really live a different type of relationship than what you're actually looking to heal. Agreeing on clear boundaries can be super important. Define the duration. How long is this break going to last? 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Set communication expectations. Are we doing daily check-ins, limited contact, or no contact? One of them is not better than the other, but think about how much personal space you might need to truly reflect during this time. And talk about commitment boundaries. Are you going to stay exclusive during this time, or are you going to open up the relationship and explore dating other people? Again, none of these boundaries are better or worse than others. It really just comes down to what you and your partner want to do and what feels right to you. But clear boundaries reduce anxiety and misunderstandings that can lead to hurt feelings in the future. Step 3 is to do internal reflection during this time. Ask yourself, how do you feel when you're alone? Did I feel relief, sadness, or regret when I didn't have my partner around? And ask yourself, do I find myself craving alone time or longing to reconnect with my partner? Really focus in on how this feels in your body during this time. This reflection can be so important to understanding what you actually want at the end of this break. One important insight here is understanding your own attachment style, because if you're anxiously attached, then you might initially feel a sense of panic or loss when you and your partner take a break. But that's just your anxious attachment style acting up. It's not necessarily a sign that this relationship is not good for you or that the relationship is right for you. Notice if your anxiety eases in the first few days during the break. This could be valuable information for yourself. If you are avoidantly attached, then you might initially feel a sense of relief when you get away from your partner. But notice after a few days if a sense of loneliness sets in instead. This can be a really important sign. Your initial reactions matter, but what emerges over time can be even more telling. My final thing to consider here is that often a fear of taking a break can actually be a fear of being alone with yourself. John Kim, the angry therapist whose work I really enjoy, writes in his book Single on Purpose, which I highly recommend. The healthiest relationships can only begin when we learn how to find a sense of joy and independence on our own first. So when you're on your break, reflect on these ideas. Have I learned what truly makes me happy outside of this relationship? Am I afraid of a break because I've been dependent on my partner for emotional validation or emotional regulation? And finally this, can I hold space for feelings of discomfort or loneliness without immediately reaching out to reconnect with my partner, to distract myself, or to numb out? Difficulty being alone doesn't necessarily mean you should rush back into the relationship. Often it means that you have personal work to do around being secure and grounded in your sense of self. And when being secure and grounded in yourself can be huge when you go back into the relationship. That creates more security for both you and your partner. A break done consciously is not an escape. It's an act of respect towards the relationship and towards yourself. And it doesn't mean that you failed. It means that you were committed to working on yourself and healing those patterns that are causing distress in the relationship in the first place. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe, and please share it with someone who might find it interesting. It really helps the channel build momentum, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.